Welcome to this week's episode. It is my honor to be your host, Dr. Katie Williams, with Dr. Williams LLC and the Dr. Williams podcast. If you want to keep this show up and running, please take a moment to follow the show, leave a rating and a review, and share it with somebody that you think would enjoy listening. This show is about highlighting what I consider to be the most valuable form of communication. And it's something we all have, whether we're tapped into it or not. That is intuition. Let's jump right in and see how today's guest utilizes their unique ability to tap into their intuition and how they use it to serve others. Make sure to listen to the end to find out how you can work with today's guest. I'm here today with Susan Boster, and she's going to be performing a reading for me. I'm super excited to work with Susan. We had a great conversation ahead of time leading up to this recording, and I'm excited to see the process and how it is that she tunes into her intuition and what's going to come through for me, and it's exciting for me to share it with all of you. Susan, thank you so much for being on the show and sharing your gift with my audience and with me. I really, really appreciate it. Could you please just introduce yourself to everybody and let them know what we're going to expect in today's reading?
Okay. Well, thank you for having me, Katie. I'm really excited to be here to channel for you and to let your audience see and experience what a channeling session is like. So I've been channeling for quite a while now. I've been in the woo world since, almost 20 years. And my background really just shifted and changed from shamanic energy healing over into being called to do the channeling and the mediumship. And when spirit calls, you answer. Because if you don't answer, they just keep on calling. So I'm really excited to be able to do this. I love it. I'm passionate about it. And it really is so helpful for the clients that I work with. Typically, what comes through on a channeling session is guidance around business situations as well as life situations. And what I have no control over what comes through. I am just the intermediary from spirit. So spirit will often give you the information that you most need to hear first, and then address other things. So we have a two-way conversation, and in that two-way conversation, I'll receive information, I'll give it to you, and then if I need clarity or you need clarity, I will then go back and ask them for more information. So it's like we're having a conversation here. It's not just one-sided information that's going through.
Okay.
I work with Divine Feminine, who is actually the conscious universe, as well as my guides. And I have more recently been working with a collective that started coming through. So that's really interesting. It's taken my work up another level. So let's go ahead and let me share with you what to expect in a session.
Perfect.
Whenever I work with a new client, I really want everybody to be comfortable. So I receive messages clairaudiently, which is through the ear, and also clairvoyant, which is I see. When I receive the messages through hearing, I will give you as accurately as I can the words that they've given me. And then when I see pictures, I will tell you what I'm seeing. Oftentimes, it's something that is representative of what I see consistently, and I know what it means. If I don't know what it means, or I tell you about it and it means something different to you, that's totally fine. Okay. I have a language that I use with them, but it's not always the same. So it might be that it means something to me, but something different to you. Okay. My guides are really kind, really respectful, and incredibly generous. And so there's nothing to be afraid of. There's nothing, they don't come through with anything nasty or harmful or hateful. It's always very kind and loving. So I typically do not record sessions. So this is something that I had to get permission from them to record, and they gave me the permission. So I'm really excited about that, to be able to share it with your audience.
Me too.
Yeah. So when I channel with my eyes closed. And something to be aware of is I end up turning this direction. So I'm not leaving you and I'm not leaving your audience. It's just what happens in my channeling. So I let everybody know it's not unusual. It always happens. Okay.
Okay.
The other thing is I've already opened sacred space for us. And when we go through the beginning process, I'm going to say a prayer and I will let you know that I'm going to connect. I have a prayer that I use with my guides to let them know I'm ready to work so that information doesn't come at me from every direction when I'm out in the world.
Hmm.
There will be silence and then the messages will start to flow. So in the silence, it just means that I'm getting the messages, I'm connecting with them, and it's okay that there's silence. Okay.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right. So, Katie, what I'd like to have you do to begin with is to have you say your full name to put your energy into the session.
My name is Katie Lynn Williams.
All right. So, Katie, let's just go ahead and take a deep inhale. We're going to ground into this space because we've been talking. So, a deep inhale and a deep exhale. A deep inhale, a deep exhale. One more deep inhale and a deep exhale. Okay. So, Katie, I'm going to connect my heart to your heart with a red ribbon of energy. You may feel it, you may not feel it, and whatever happens is perfectly okay. The reason that I do this is when we channel, we go to the guides with love, and everything is connected with love. So we are connected heart to heart with love. But I am not tapping into your energy. Everything is coming from them. Okay? So for Susan and Katie, imagine that we are encircled in a beautiful white and golden light made of universal love, ancient wisdom, eternal knowledge, and an abundance of source that is available to us at all times and in all ways. And as we set our sacred space together today, we do it for our encouragement, empowerment, expansiveness, restoration, regeneration, reclamation, joy, healing, and creativity. And we ask for support today from the universe for Katie's highest good. And so it is. All right. So
Beautiful.
thank you. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to connect with my guides and do my thing. So this will just be, you may hear a little bit of mumbling because that's when I say my prayer to connect with them. All right, so the very first thing that they're saying to me is welcome, which is very much what they say when I bring a client through. And they are welcoming you as well. They're telling me that they have messages of love and guidance for you. They're telling me they want to start with love. And this is very unusual. So let me see what they have to say here. They're telling me that there is so much love around you. That you're receiving love from a lot of different directions. They're telling me that there's new love in your life. Does that make sense?
Um, it it's a little confusing. I don't have like a new relationship, but there's been a lot of focus on my current relationship where love is concerned.
Okay. All right. So let's get some more clarity on that. Are you looking for more stability in that relationship?
I feel like what I'm looking for is more of a soul connection.
Okay, so let me see what they have to say about that, because they use the word stability, but sometimes their meanings are a little bit different than what we interpret. So let me go back and get some clarity. Okay, so what they're telling me is that it is a deep connection, but it's not necessarily a soul connection.
Okay.
They're saying there's some work that has to be done around that.
That makes sense to me.
Okay. They're saying to give it time. They're saying don't write it off real quickly.
Okay.
They're telling me that there's some lessons to be learned here. But they won't give me the lessons, because then lessons won't be learned. They're telling.
And these are lessons for me to learn, or for me and the other person.
Let me ask about that one. They're saying primarily for you.
Okay.
But it's about that person.
Okay.
Um,
Would you like a solo hindsight episode related to this specific reading? If you do, send me an email at hello@drwilliamspodcast.com, and all you have to put in the email is hindsight and the kind of reading or my guest's name, and I'll know which one you're interested in. As I produced the Intuitive Wonderland, time went on before I actually launched it. So I have a unique perspective on each of these readings and how they played out in time. Most of these readings were recorded a year ago in the past. So I can offer my insight into the information that was provided to me and how the information has played out in time in my life. If this is something you're interested in, I'm happy to share that with you. Please send me an email and let me know. All right, let's get back to the reading.
They're telling me they can't that they can't bypass the lessons by telling you what they are.
That makes sense. Okay. Gotta live it.
Exactly. I'm going to ask what else they want to share around that. They're saying take your time, keep your eyes open. They're saying it's not necessarily going to be really easy, but it's not going to be real difficult either.
Okay.
I asked them if there was anything you needed to do in this situation, and they said just keep your heart open.
Okay.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. I feel like maybe for everybody listening, I should offer a little bit of clarity. My husband and I have been working through some relationship aspects. I feel like it has a lot to do with me and my own history that's holding me back, and that's really the forefront of the issue.
Okay.
And my husband's very even and easygoing, but he's in this relationship with me, so it kind of drags him into the problem.
Okay. So let me see if I can get more clarity around that. Okay, so what they're saying is when you focus on your side, it will balance things out.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to say something here, and they're telling me that there's some trauma that took place. Okay. They want you to know they're aware of that, and that there is, say it again. They're saying you will be able to heal it.
Well, that's a relief.
It's always a relief, yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see if they have any more information around that. what they're telling me is that there are people who can do really deep healing trauma work, and they are suggesting that if you haven't found somebody yet, that you look into that, because
Okay.
what they're showing me is like a lifting up, and it almost feels like it's lifting that energy off. They are showing me tears of joy rather than tears of sorrow. So that feels to me, and I will clarify, that you will be able to heal that. And they're saying yes, yes, yes. So they're confirming that.
Okay.
All right. So let's see if there's what else they want to share with you. Okay, so they're telling me they want to move on to your work.
Sounds good to me.
I'm sure it does. Pivot.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see what they have to say about your work. They're telling me that you're stepping into new areas that are really going to be helpful to a lot of people. They're telling me you're almost, it's like like you're in a tunnel sort of, and you're feeling your way along the walls, like as you're going through the tunnel. So that would indicate to me you're feeling your way through where you're headed. There's a little bit of uncertainty around it, which would be why you're feeling your way, and gathering information as you go. So it's not that you're lost at all. It's just it's like the path is unfolding in front of you, but it's not. You're not seeing the end of it yet, which is typical of new paths. So let me get some more clarity around that. All right, so they're showing me like a fork in the road, and the fork in the road is, it's actually equally split. One side of the fork is all like pink and sparkly and lit up. And that's usually, well, not usually, in this case, that's the one fork that you're on right now. The other fork is the one that has that dark down, so it's showing me that it's lit, but but there's darkness on the other end of it, which doesn't mean that it's a bad fork. What it means is you just have to follow that path and follow the breadcrumbs. So I'm going to ask for clarity on whether or not, does that make sense to you?
Yeah, the tunnel and everything made a lot of sense to me. I've been feeling like I'm getting close to something, and right when I feel like clarity is going to come, it's like it leaves and it's not quite there. Like I'm almost there.
Okay.
And so that resonated with me.
Okay. So let me get some more information around that and see what they have to say. Okay, so what they're saying is that you have enough to start. They're saying get out of your head.
Yeah, I live there.
And they're telling me that as you start, it's just going to keep unfolding and unfolding and unfolding. And you don't need to necessarily know the end result before you start down there.
Okay. May I ask a question?
Absolutely.
Does this have anything to do with writing?
Okay, let me ask. They're telling me there is some writing, but I want more information on that. They're telling me there's more to it than that.
Okay.
Does that make sense to you?
I'm sure it will in time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that the additional part is the part that you're not seeing yet.
Right. Yes.
All right. They're also telling me that path is also going to split. So it's going to take you in a couple of different directions.
And this is the pink sparkly path.
No, this is the one that you're still working on. The one that
Okay.
not fully complete yet.
Okay.
this pink sparkly one is just sort of happening on its own over there.
Okay.
We're not, for whatever reason, they're not taking me down that one. We're still down the path that hasn't unfolded yet.
Okay, I see.
But I can go back and ask for clarity about the pink sparkly one.
I mean, that one sounds more inviting.
Yeah, but it's probably oftentimes when it's like that, it's the one that somebody is on currently that is working,
Yes.
and that's
Okay.
so lit up. The other fork in the road is the one that's a new fork. And
Okay. And that's really what I want clarity on. So
yeah,
that would make sense.
yeah. So they're telling me you don't need clarity on the other one. You already
Okay.
clear on that one. So let's go back to the other one and see what they say. They're telling me you're going to start to write, but it's going to evolve.
Okay.
And in that evolution, there are other paths that are going to happen. They're saying none is right or wrong. It's just opens the door to opportunities.
I believe that.
They're saying you can go down a path and investigate, but you can also turn around and come back.
Okay.
There isn't going to be any harm in checking those out, but they want you to find the one that really calls to you.
Me too. I really want to find that one.
Yeah, and they're saying that some will look like they're calling to you initially, and then when you investigate, you'll find out, not really. And that's when you'll turn around and come back. But they're also telling me some of the information that you will find from the ones where you turn around and come back will be useful when the one that jumps up and is a passion comes about. So it's not a waste of your time. It's just not something that's going to become something big for you. Okay, I want to ask if there's any more clarity around that. They're telling me it's going to bring you a lot of joy.
Well, that's nice to hear.
Yeah. And they're also, this is really interesting because this showed up, it's almost like what they're showing they're like kind of jumping over the dark area where there's like the information hasn't unfolded, but they're showing a big treasure chest, like a gold treasure chest with coins all around it, and it's just like glowing. And that is success. So I go through it, just know that there is success on the other end.
Oh, my path to success.
Absolutely. We all need those.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
And we all need to know that when we're going down something that we can't see the end to, that there is success on the other end.
That is comforting, I have to admit. It's nice to know. It helps me to embrace the unfolding more.
Right. And the unknown.
Yeah. Yes. And the unknown.
And they're telling me you're not real comfortable in the unknown.
That's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see if there's anything else that they have for you. Okay. So hold on to your seat here.
Okay. Embrace.
Do you have children?
Yes. Oh my gosh. I was just asking that question in my heart. Yeah.
Okay. Because they are showing me a child.
Yep.
It's the child is in like a pink cloud. It's a newborn. It's all right.
Oh, it's my niece.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Because if it's potentially yours, be careful if you don't want any more children.
Yep. We can't have any more. So we're done.
Okay. All right. Then you don't have to be careful. Then okay. So that child then is your niece.
I'm assuming she's only a few months old, and I have a strong connection with her. I think she's the daughter I didn't get.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Because that pink cloud would be a female child.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay, let me see if they have any information on around that. Okay, so they're telling me that not only is she the daughter you didn't get, but she will actually feel like your daughter.
That's great.
Okay. Anything else? Okay, so they're telling me now that they want to address any questions that you might have.
When I first was asking the question about children, I didn't expect Arya to come through in that way, but I would just like to know about parenting. I really want to guide these little souls that I have, and I feel a bit weighted with that. But I just want some insight on how I can connect with that intention.
Okay. Do you have 3?
I have 2.
2? Okay. I wonder if that third one is the one that is like a daughter but isn't.
I think so.
Okay. So let me see what they say about the parenting aspect. So absolutely the very first thing they said was just most important is show them unconditional love. They're also telling me that when you have the awareness that you have, and simply by asking this question, that you will be the best parent you can be for them.
Oh, okay.
They're saying the challenges come when parents don't ask that question. When they don't.
Which question?
How can I be the best parent for my children?
I see.
They're telling me that these children chose you for a reason.
I feel that.
They're saying even the little ups and downs that happen are really lessons that they chose to learn. But you actually smooth the path for them. So they're telling me that there's not trauma there.
Oh, that's nice to know.
And just so you know, the reason they're not addressing your partner is because they don't get into third person things when they're not in the session. So they're just talking about your situation. It doesn't mean he's not going to be there. It just means that they're talking about you.
Okay.
Let me see if they have anything else. They're saying that's all we need to say on that subject. So
okay.
what else do you have?
The only thing I really want to ask is kind of a timeline for going back to career. I'm just kind of wondering, when am I going to step into that moment of knowing that this is it? This is what I'm here to do.
Okay, so let me ask. Okay, so first of all, they're laughing because they say that's a human question.
Yeah, I can see that. Everything is now. I understand.
No, it's more that they're saying the human belief that there is only one moment in time. They're telling me that you've already had one calling. Is that correct?
Yes, my spiritual awakening has changed my path.
Okay. All right. So let's see what else they say about that. They're saying to not be in too much of a rush, to explore. They're also saying you have free will and free choice. So they can't put a definitive time frame on it, because if you choose one path and it turns out to be what feeds your soul, that would be a different timeline than if you choose several other paths and you turn around and come back.
Okay.
Does that?
I have it, that does. That actually led me to more of a clearer question that I have.
Okay.
I'm wondering, when is, I don't know whether it's the podcast or some other form of direction career-wise for me, but when is money going to start coming in for me?
Okay. So how about if we just, rather than specify, we can just say, when will the money, give me some information around the money flow.
Okay, that sounds good.
All right. And let's see what they say. So they're telling me that each time you start something new, it does take time for it to start to flow. They're asking me if you have monetized your podcast.
I have not.
Okay. They're going monetize, monetize, monetize. Okay. So they're telling me there's some partners that are going to come in to help you with this.
Okay.
Let me see what else they're saying around that. So they're saying right now you're offering a service. They're asking me if you are getting a balance of what you give out coming back, and that doesn't have to be money. Okay, so what they're saying, even exchange. Is there even exchange?
Yes.
Okay.
I feel that way, yes.
Okay.
I do feel there's trade.
Okay. Okay. They want you to take it to the next step. And the next step is where the exchange will be more monetary, or will be monetary. Let me see what else they have to say potentially about the other. They're telling me there's something that's going to come that's going to help bring money quicker. Is there something you're currently working on that would be more of a monetary exchange?
I do have offerings. Nothing has taken off.
Okay. They're saying be patient. They will.
Okay.
They're telling me that while your business is important, your personal life is almost taking a priority. Does that make sense to you?
It's always been that way with me.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. They want you to work on that.
Okay.
And they're telling me the other will fall into place.
Okay.
They're saying that it does feed your soul. So it's important to continue to do it. They're saying money is not a big concern for you. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're saying be at peace and allow it to unfold in its proper timing.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see if there's anything else that they have to say. They're just saying the success is going to come.
Well, I love ending on that note. That's great.
Right. So, Katie, what I'd like to do is I'd like to release your heart from my heart. And I would just like to thank the guides and the council and Divine Feminine for working with us today, for bringing the messages through, for Katie, for working with me as the intermediary. We are profoundly grateful for all that you do for us, and I release you. And so it is.
I'm appreciative as well. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Wow.
Well, that was wonderful. Let's jump in and tell everybody how they can find you. How can they reach out to you? How can they have a reading of their own?
Okay, so they can go to my website, which is Susan B Intuitive, all one word, .com. They can also reach me by susanbintuitive@gmail.com. So if you want to reach out and just message me, you can do that, or you can do that through my website.
Do you have any social media platforms?
I do. I'm on Facebook, and it's under Susan Boster. It's not under Susan B. Intuitive. I'm on Instagram, which is not as active, under Susan B_intuitive. And I'm also on YouTube it's at Susan B. Intuitive. So I've tried to make it really easy by sticking with the same thing all the way across. Katie, the other thing too is I did want to let your listeners know that if they are interested in scheduling a session, they can also have a discount of 10% off if they just use Dr. Katie as the promo code.
Wonderful. Well, you hear that, guys? That's just for you. Thank you, Susan. That's such a kind offering. I really appreciate it. I think that you guys should definitely reach out and get a reading. It was a powerful experience for me, and I'm sure it'll be one for you too. And if you do decide to reach out to Susan and work with her, send me an email and let me know how it goes, because I'm curious and I really care about all of you. And Susan, I care about you. Thank you for being here on the show. It's been my pleasure.
It's been mine as well. And thank you for allowing me to be here and to read for you, and also to connect with your listeners as well.
That concludes today's episode. It is my hope that you found benefit in listening to today's guest and gained a greater appreciation for the guidance of intuition in each of us. If you haven't already, please make sure to follow us on social media under Dr. Williams Podcast. Look within, trust your intuition, and allow yourself to explore all the splendor that it has to offer. This is the Intuitive Wonderland.